joining me on my YouTube yoga channel. This flow will be focused around healthy spine, so lots of yummy twists as well as some good hip openers. So we're going to get started today in a child's pose. So facing the front of your mat, your knees can either be together or you can let your knees go wide to either edge of your mat. Let your hips sink nice and far back to the heels and just begin to melt the heart on the mat with the fingers reaching up to the top of the mat. And just allow the forehead to make a connection. If you can't reach the earth, then bring a block or a book or something underneath your forehead. And just allow the skull to be heavy into the earth. Just taking a moment to settle into this shape. To soften through the shoulders and face. Allowing the eyes to close and just take a moment to notice how your body is feeling here and now. Seeing where you may be holding onto some tension or resistance in the body. And just noticing where you have space, softness, and ease. And just allow your breath to begin to deepen. And really feeling this breath expanding the entire capacity of the lungs. So much so that you feel your ribcage actually moving out and up towards the sky as you fill up so much with that inhale. Enjoying the exhale, let it go slowly, allowing the tailbone to fall heavier towards the heels, lengthening the spine. And so again, on each inhale, allow the ribcage to expand up into the sky like you're inflating a balloon. Inviting more softness, more ease on the exhale. Maybe you begin to expand the breath all the way down into the belly. Feeling the belly expand, pressing against the thighs. And just being willing to take up space within your body. Willing to expand, willing to fill up even more full. Soften through the fingers. Soften through the toes. Let go through the jaw. Notice the ears relax. The tongue is soft. The throat is soft. And just let the shoulders collapse a bit more to the earth. Taking another deep inhale. Complete exhale. Very slowly travel your fingers over to the left side. Stay nice and low through the body, just walking your hands up and over as far as they can go. Maybe they go off of the mat. And then settling over here to the left with the forehead and connection of the earth. And as you're reaching up and out to the left, still allow that right sit bone to fall heavy towards the right heel. Finding length through the right side body. Finding length through the space between the rib cage and the hip on the right side, and fill up that space with breath. Maybe you stack the right hand over the left to get a little bit deeper. And just taking a few more deep belly breaths. As you inhale, slowly travel your hands back to center. Exhale, move to the right, going out and up to the right side. Maybe stacking the hands if you did so before. And just with each breath, imagine the breath traveling in between, weaving its way through the rib cage on the left side. Allowing everything to settle into stillness. Feeling the way your shins and the top of the feet feel against the mat. Just surrendering into the heaviness, into the weight pressed into the earth. As you inhale, find your way back to center. Spread the fingers nice and wide on the mat. Pressing into the hands, use your inhale to lift the chest up and lift up into your tabletop position. Bringing your hands underneath the shoulders and bringing your knees in underneath the hips. Spreading the fingers really wide. As you inhale, tuck all your 10 toes under. Lift the tailbone up, let the belly be soft to the earth. Lift the chin, opening the heart. Full inhale. As you exhale, let your toes untuck and tuck the tailbone under, rounding through the spine. Press actively through the arms and through the hands like you're pressing away from the earth, and tuck your chin to chest. Complete exhale. Use the inhale. Inhale to lift the chin, tuck those toes under, lift the tailbone. Exhale to release the toes and round through the spine, pressing through the earth, creating that space between the shoulder blades. And just moving to your rhythm, let the inhale open the heart. Let the exhale round it out. And inhale, come to a neutral flat back. Spreading the fingers wide, begin to shift your weight forward, allowing your shoulders to come up past your fingertips. So we're really pressing in through the entire hand, really pressing through the knuckles. Notice the fingertips turn on as we shift our weight forward. Just feeling that good stretch through the forearms. arms, opening up through the wrist a bit, really strengthening the wrists. Breathing. Really gripping the earth with your hand here, like you're holding onto the mat. And release. Begin to shift your weight back gently. We're going to pick up our palms and tent our fingers. Rounding the spine, so really tuck the tailbone under, round the spine, tuck the chin down. Fingertips still planted, gripping a little bit as you find the resistance and length through the arms. And just breathe here for a moment, tucking the chin. If it feels good, you can kind of move side to side, getting into the side bodies again. And just lengthening the back body. And release, come back to your tabletop position. We're going to pick up the right arm all the way to the sky, reach the fingers up, look up with it, lengthening. So you exhale, sweep it back, let your hips fall all the way into a circle, let it come forward. Inhale, reach the fingers forward and up. Exhale, let them go back and down. Inhaling. Exhaling. Few rounds here. Just let these circles be as large as you can make them, really finding that nice rotation through the shoulder. Take a moment to pause. We'll switch directions. Inhale it up and forward. Exhale it back and down. Inhale, the next time that the fingers are up to the sky, look up with it, lengthen. Exhale, thread the needle under and through the left arm. So reach the fingers under and through, really extensive here. And let everything release to the earth with your right ear. Pressing into this hand right in front of your face. See if you can lift your gaze and look up to the sky. Getting a gentle cervical twist here. Breathing into that right shoulder blade. Shift all of your weight into your right knee. Breathe deeply. Softening that top shoulder, softening the face. Let the breath be really expansive and full on the inhale. Letting something go on the exhale. Use your inhale to press back up. Lift those right fingers all the way back up to the ceiling. Reset the spine. Exhale, release it back to your tabletop position. Inhale, the left arm rises. Reach it all the way back as you exhale. Inhale, bring it forward and up. Pause and switch your direction. Reaching the left fingers all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, thread it under and through. Out to the right, rest the left side of your head to the earth. Pressing into that right palm that's flat onto the earth to bring your gaze, your view up to the ceiling. Breathing deeply into the upper back. inhale, begin to unwind, press into the palm that's flat on the earth, and reach the left fingers back up. With an inhale, exhale, release it back to your tabletop position. Beautiful, so we're back in our tabletop position. You can go ahead and plant your hands forward, one hand space, spreading the fingers wide. So you inhale, bring your shoulders back forward. So we're kind of straightening out through our hips a little bit more this time. Our shoulders are going past our fingertips, straightening out. It's like a supported or a modified plank here with our knees down. Breathing. Exhale, shift the hips all the way back to a child's pose. Let the arms stay nice and long. Fingers spread wide. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, let's soften the hips all the way down towards the earth this time, really gently for a gentle cobra. Peel the elbows back. You can even find a little gentle bend in the elbows as they reach back. Peel the shoulders back, the shoulder blades squeeze to the midline of the spine. Breathing, let the belly be soft. Really strong core, really slow and gentle. Lift those hips back and bring them back into your child's pose. Inhale, lift the chest, come back onto all fours. And we'll find our way to our belly. So you can bend your elbows, let there be a nice soft bend in them, and hug your elbows together. So as you slowly lower, your elbows squeeze into your rib cage. And you find that nice chaturanga shape in the arms as you slowly lower all the way down to your belly. You can let your toes be untucked and draw your toes to the midline. Tense your fingers out wide, so we're really wide on our mat, elbows are pointed up. And just take a moment here with your forehead bowed to the mat, let your elbow tips point all the way up to the ceiling, and just breathe into the shoulders. Notice maybe if you shift your elbows slowly forward and back in space, and just explore the shoulders and notice how they feel. And then releasing that, keeping the elbow points facing the ceiling, scrunch your shoulders as hard as you can up to your ears. As close as your shoulders can get to your ears, you're still looking down on your mat, your head is bowed. Scrunch those shoulders as hard as you can, scrunch them. And as you inhale, begin to stay in this position and just lift the upper back. So we're scrunching our shoulders, our head is bowed down, inhaling to lift the upper back. As you exhale, bring the shoulder blades really close, squeeze them back down towards the spine and roll the shoulders back as you lift the head. Pause here, inhale. Exhale, slowly release and roll the chest and head back down to the earth. Forehead bows back down, elbows point up. Scrunch the shoulders as hard as you can. Inhale, lift the upper back, scrunching. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, let them slide down the back as you lift the head, exhaling. Inhale, fill up with breath. Exhale, slowly roll yourself back down. A couple rounds here, scrunch those shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down, lift the head. Inhale. Exhale, very slowly release it. Let those elbows point up so you get into the shoulders as you slowly lower. Let's do one more here. Scrunch those shoulders. Inhale, lift. Roll them back and down. Inhaling. As we exhale, let's lower halfway and look to the left as we dip the right shoulder to the center. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, look to the right, dip the left shoulder. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower through the center. Bring your palms under your shoulders, press back onto hands and knees, and release back into your child's pose. Slowly allow your fingers to come towards the toes so your arms are alongside the body now. With the shoulders collapsed, just give them a moment to reset into balance. And we're very slowly going to roll the spine up, so let the head and shoulders stay heavy, and just begin to stack one vertebrae up at a time, rising the upper back. And the shoulders, the neck, and the head are the very last to lift. Coming up onto our knees, let there be a space in the knees so that they're about hip-width distance apart. We're going to tense the left fingers right by the toes. If this feels a little far away from you, you can put a block here or a book so that you have a little bit more space. So go ahead and plant those left fingers and extend the right arm straight out. Soften through the shoulders. Take a full inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale, press into these fingers and lift the hips up. Lift the right fingers up. Exhale, slowly release. Switch sides. Right fingers plant. Left finger extends. Inhale, lift the hips. Lift the hand. Exhale, slowly release and switch. So let the inhale lift you up. Exhale releases, nice and slow. And each time you lift, maybe you get into a little bit more of a back bend, reaching those fingers all the way to the back wall. Opening the front of the body. Think length through the entire front body. Let's do one more round. Coming onto our knees, let's bring our knees together now. Big toe mounds touch and tuck all 10 toes under. Even those pinky toes. You can stay supported if your feet feel a little sore or achy, or you just want to be really delicate and gentle here, or you can bring your hands to the heart space, sinking into the soles of the feet. Soften the shoulders, let this collarbone be open wide with our heart open. Finding the breath, softening through the entire face. Begin to peel your fingers open. So we're taking Lotus Mudra here. So the base of the palms stay together, the thumbs and the pinky stay together. And just open the middle fingers, the pointer fingers, the ring fingers, and a little bit of the hand. So it creates this flower shape. And bring it right in front of your heart, a lotus flower. It is open like a bowl, open to receiving. And just maybe take a moment to acknowledge what you would like to attract into your life. What type of possibility you are looking for. And very gently begin to rise your lotus flower. It rises through muddy waters, through all the darkness we've been through this winter, rising and blooming towards the sun as we step forward into this next season of spring. And once we get to the top, we can just bend the elbows out wide. Let the elbows be pressed towards the back wall as you bend them a little bit, really squeezing the shoulder blades together. Notice if you do this, you begin to let the rib cage jet out, and just keep the integrity of the core, keeping the rib cage plugged in and just letting those elbows go back behind the ears. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, release the hands to the heart space. Release the hands down into your tabletop. You can lift your feet, gently wiggle them out, get some movement, release any of that stiffness. Roll the ankles. Maybe tap them on the floor a little bit. Okay. Tuck all 10 toes, lift your hips. We're going to go into downward facing dog. So just lift those hips all the way up to the sky. You can keep bending your knees. You can keep the hips, the heels lifted, but just lift the sit bones to the ceiling as if you have strings coming up from your sit bones and lifting them to the sky. Really lifting and lengthening through the whole spine and back body. Spread those fingers wide. Let your head be heavy. Maybe you shake it out gently. Feel free to pedal through the heels. Taking any intuitive micro movements that feel good within your body. Just continuing to explore, peel back layers of ourselves to reveal what's happening in a deeper realm within ourselves, closer to truth. Moving with your breath. Really just bringing your gaze inward. Noticing where the tension is within the body, where the spaciousness is within the body. Without judging or attaching to how we're feeling. Without getting caught up into our same old story of why our body is the way that it is or why it feels the way that it is. And can we just be here in this moment really open and curious about the body? Excuse me. Really curious about those sensations that we may be used to or not so familiar with. And just really looking at them, feeling into them with the breath with a beginner's mind. One that's really curious and eager to learn more beyond the surface. As you take an inhale, begin to glide forward, shifting your chest forward and allowing the shoulders to stack directly over the wrists. So we level out through the hips and find a high plank. You may need to space out your hands or feet in a different way to find that nice flat plank. Just be mindful that your hips aren't low. You want to keep your core engaged and keep those hips lifted really strong. Engaging the quadriceps really high on those toes, strong through the legs, pressing through the earth. So we don't want to hang out like this, allowing our shoulder girdle to really take a lot of the brunt of the weight. We want to be active through the shoulders, engaging through the core, so we're really protecting our joints. Spread those fingers wide, taking a full inhale. As you exhale, slowly just lift those hips back up without changing where your hands or feet are, and just find your way to your downward facing dog. Use your inhale to glide back forward, nice and smooth, slow. Use the whole inhale to get to your top of the plank. Use your whole exhale to shift up and back into your down dog. So your knees can stay slightly bent this whole time. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, lift hips. Let's do one more. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, lift hips. Beautiful. So let's take a little stroll with our feet. Nice little baby steps. Your knees can bend. Walking your feet forward. Nice and slow until you get to the top of the mat. And find a standing forward fold with your feet hip width distance apart. Be mindful that you don't dump the weight into the heels. Use the whole foot to hold you. Maybe you reach for opposite elbows, take ragdoll, or just dangle the arms and let the top body be really heavy. Keep a micro bend in those knees. Taking any variation that feels good so you can sway. If it feels good to reach your hands behind your back and open the shoulders for a moment, you can feel free to take this variation. Whatever's going to serve you most in this moment to open up through the back of the body, release any of the tension that's being held, finding more ease, more softness, more spaciousness. Check in with the knees. Make sure you have a little buoyancy. We never lock out the knees here. Check in with your weight. See if you can press more weight into the toes versus the heels. Release the grip of the hands and bring your palms to your shins. Inhale, lift the upper back to a flat back, just halfway, lengthening the crown of the head forward, the tailbone backwards. So we're lengthening the whole spine. Plug that navel up and in. Strong core to protect the low back here. Roll the shoulders back. Full inhale. As you exhale, gently release it all back down to the earth. Inhale, lift up halfway. Let your inhale lift you and lengthen you. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, root to rise. So keep your feet really planted, strong core, lift all the way up, flat back, all the way to the top. To a standing position, arms sweep up, look up, reach up, lengthen. We're going to exhale our hands together to the heart space. Beautiful. Inhale, reach those fingers all the way back up. Interlace them at the top, release the pointer finger, and soften the shoulders. Lengthening the arms on the inhale. Exhale, side bend to the right. As you inhale here, lift from that left armpit to the sky. As you exhale, soften through. Another inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come to center. Exhale to the left. Making sure you're not crumbling down this way. Keep the heart rotated up to the sky. Inhale to center. Exhale, let's hinge and fold, flat back the whole way like a swan dive. Strong core, release. Bring your palms to your shins. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen the spine, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands into the earth and step back into your high plank, 1 foot at a time. Beautiful. Take a full inhale here. Exhale, lower your weight to your belly so you can drop your knees gently, hugging those elbows in like we did in the beginning of class. Hug them in nice and tight so that your back body is nice and straight, strong. Lower to your belly, untuck your toes. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, lengthening the spine. You can do baby cobra here. You can press into the hands, let those elbows point back, and lift up into a full cobra, letting the heart come forward, or press through the tops of the feet, lift the legs for an up dog. Exhale, we all find our way to downward facing dog. Take a full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale, lift the right leg all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, we're going to keep our hips lifted in this down dog shape and just hug this right thigh into your chest, nice and tight. Hug the thigh into the chest, hug the heel into the glute. Really bending your leg as much as you can. Inhale, extend it up. Now let's go outside the body. Exhale, hug the thigh into the right side body. Right up next to the rib cage, kneecap towards the armpit. Keep the leg lifted, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, let's glide forward this time as we hug the thigh into the chest, heel into the glute, into our high plank, squeezing it in nice and tight. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, let's go out to the right side. Hug that right kneecap up towards the right upper arm, outside the body, high plank, squeeze it in nice and tight. Inhale, lift it up. Let's go back to the center and cross to the left side now. Squeeze it in nice and tight. Squeeze it to that left upper arm. Inhale, lift it up. Let's go back to the center. Hug it in nice and tight. High plank. Step it between the hands. So the foot takes a giant step forward, and we're going to release our left knee, untuck our left toes. So the back leg is nice and relaxed here, softening in through this right leg. Lift the chest. You can plant your hands onto the thigh. Soften those shoulders. Let those hips fall forward. So this knee is directly over the heel. Nice straight vertical line through that leg. If your foot ever looks like this, you're putting a lot of stress into that knee joint. So you want to wiggle walk those toes forward and find that nice vertical line there. Let those hips fall forward, softening in. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up to the sky. Strong core, hug those bottom rib points in, tuck the navel up into the spine. Take an inhale, lengthening. Exhale, reach the right arm back, turning your chest towards the right side. Left fingers come forward. So we're taking a little bit of a twist here. Each inhale, lift to the top of the head and lengthen. Each exhale, reach those right fingers back. Taking this nice twist, another full inhale. Exhale. Full inhale. Exhale it out. Let this back right hand go down and become heavy. Find your back thigh wherever it is. And lift the left fingers up. So you're taking a gentle back bend. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up to the twist. Right fingers lift to the back wall. Exhale it out. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, plant the hands to frame that front foot. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee. So we're in a high crescent lunge now. Step this left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, flat back. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, root to rise. All the way up to a standing position, arms up overhead, interlace them. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to your high plank, 1 foot at a time. Nice and strong, take a full inhale. You can lower knees, chin, chest like we did before, hug those elbows in, or take chaturanga, hug those elbows in and lower just halfway. Moving into your baby cobra, or full up dog. Pull those elbows and shoulders back, heart comes forward, chin lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. Keep those hips lifted. We're in a down dog shape, and just exhale, hug the thigh into the chest. Inhale, lift it up to the sky. Exhale, hug it on the left side body, so go out wide with your leg, knee towards that left armpit. Inhale it up. Let's glide forward this time. Inhale, glide forward, hug it into the center of the chest. Inhale it up to the sky. Exhale, out wide again, glide forward. Squeeze it up and in. Inhale it up. Exhale, we're going to go across the body to the right arm this time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale to the center of the chest. Step the foot between the hands. Nice and forward. Release your back knee, untuck back toes. Take a moment. Lift the chest, stack the hands on the thigh. So you can stay lifted here, or you can soften all of your weight forward, really getting into the hips. Soften through those shoulders, soften the face, find the quality of breath. Inhale the arms up overhead. So when we lift up with our arms, we kind of lift out of that hips a little bit, and we're a little more strong on this right knee. So we're not as far forward. Where it lifted, we have the integrity of the core. Take a full inhale. Exhale, we're going to turn now to the left, bringing the left fingers all the way back, opening the arms up, reaching the right fingers forward. Taking a full inhale, lengthening the top of the head, soften those shoulders. Exhale, reach the fingertips extensively away, really opening and twisting the heart. Taking a full inhale. As you exhale, let these left fingers just become heavy. The whole arm is heavy. Find your back thigh. Reach the right arm up and back. Gentle heart opener. Use your inhale to lift all the way up to your twist. Just lifting the chest, opening the arms. And coming back to center, arms up overhead. Exhale, plant the hands to frame that front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. We're in our high runner's lunge now. Step that right foot forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, palms to shins. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Strong core all the way up. Interlace those fingers at the top. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to your high plank, 1 foot at a time. Beautiful. Space your feet out as wide as your hips, a little bit further. Take a full inhale, really strong here. Exhale, drop both heels to the right. Keep your shoulders where they are. Inhale, lift those heels to center. Exhale, release them both to the left. Inhale, lift the heels to center. Exhale to the right. Inhaling. Exhaling. Another round. Come to center. Exhale, lower to your belly, knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga. Feel those elbows squeeze. Untucking your toes. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Cobra, baby cobra, up dog. It's your choice every time. You may choose something different every time, so just listen to what your body needs, how it feels good. Find your way to downward facing dog. Take a full inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale, the right leg rises all the way up to the sky. Exhale, mindfully plant it in between the hands. One giant step forward, really hug the thigh into the chest to get there. Beautiful. We're going to stay lifted this time. Rise all the way up to your crescent lunge, arms up overhead. Exhale the hands together to the heart space. Nice. So we have a nice deep bend through this front knee. We're high on the back toes. This thigh is really engaged. Our hips face forward. Our heart faces forward. Hands to prayer. Soften the shoulders. Lengthen the spine. Plug that navel up and in. Strong core. Take a full inhale. As we exhale, we're going to turn our chest to the right. So we're twisting to the right. Lean forward first. And then just twist so that your right elbow goes up. Your left elbow goes towards your right knee. Tap it. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist and tap. Inhale to center. So you're really using your core to twist and touch that left elbow to the right knee. Inhale to center. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. This time we'll pause in the twist. You can snuggle that left elbow outside of the right knee to take a hold there. Firmly press your hands into one another. Really press the hands so that you can open the chest to the right. Let that right elbow point to the ceiling. Soften the shoulders. Let the breath be really expansive. Inhale, lift the chest, come back to center. Beautiful. So we're really strong here. We're going to step this left foot forward and all the way up to a float. So really planting through that right foot. If you need to hop this left foot, you can hop it and bring it up to a float. Or from your high lunge, strong core, steady breath, steady eyes, sweep it into one motion here. So find your way here. I know this right leg is like burning because we've been on it forever, but you got this. Hug onto your knee, interlacing your hands. Soften those shoulders and roll this left ankle around. Beautiful. Hug onto this left knee with just the right hand now. And let this left arm sweep all the way back to the back wall. So you can face forward to hold your balance. And then when you have your balance, slowly shift your gaze to the left. Pause. Find your balance in this perspective. Finding your breath. Maybe you can bring your gaze all the way to the back wall. There's always an option here if you want to reach this foot for the outer edge, the pinky toe edge of your foot, and try and straighten the leg. You can take that variation. You don't have to straighten it all the way, but just make sure you're not, scrunched to reach for it. If that's the case, just stay at the knee, nice and long through the spine. Beautiful. Bring this left hand back to center. Hands to the heart space. Step this left foot all the way back to your crescent lunge. Inhaling. Exhale, take the twist. Left elbow outside of the right knee. Staying twisted. Our chest is to the right. Just lift your head, lift the upper body. So we're still facing the right, and we can extend the arms open for this open twist. Take a full inhale. Exhale, drop this right hand down to the back thigh. Lift the left fingers up and back for your reverse. Beautiful. Lift the chest, come back to center. Arms arms come back up overhead. Plant the hands to frame this front foot. We're going to plant this left hand firmly and wiggle walk the right foot out wide to the very right edge of your mat. So you have a nice wide stance. The right knee is out wide, and lift the right fingers up to the ceiling. Let that right knee fall out to the right. Breathe. Being mindful of that bottom left shoulder. Press through the shoulder. Don't let your weight be hung out in that shoulder girdle. Staying exactly where you are, just lower your back knee. Lower your back knee, reach the right fingers all the way towards the back wall. You can stay here, or if you'd like, you can lift this back foot and take a bind. Release, bring both hands back to center. We're gonna step this right foot back to our high plank. You can go straight to down dog, or you can take your vinyasa. Exhaling to lower, inhaling to open the heart. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Take a full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale, the left leg rises to the sky. Exhale, step it all the way forward in between the hands. Inhale, rise up into your crescent lunge. Take a moment to check in. Deep bend, vertical line in that lower leg. Knee over heel. Strong through our back leg. Nice integration of the core. Navel plugged up and in. Exhale, hands to the heart space. Soften those shoulders. Soften the face. Take a full inhale to lengthen the spine. As you exhale, begin to lean forward and turn to the left, bringing the right elbow to tap that left knee. Inhale to center. Exhale to twist and tap. Inhale. Let your breath move you. Stay nice and slow and controlled to keep balance. One more. Inhale. Exhale, turn and tap. This time we'll pause at the twist so you can bring this right elbow outside of the left knee to kind of grab on for leverage. Press your hands firmly so you can really bring this top shoulder back, softening it away from the ear. You squeeze those legs energetically to the midline to hold your balance. Breathe nice and deeply. Even though we're twisted literally and constricted a bit, let your belly still be expansive with breath. Inhale, come back to center. We're gonna now hop this right foot forward up to our float. So again, you can hop it, bump, 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 and then lift it. Or you can go straight from your high crescent lunge. Nice strong core all the way up to a balance. Nice. Go ahead and interlace the fingers around that knee. Roll it around. Roll the ankle, wake up the toes. And release that movement, holding onto this right knee with now just the left hand. Let your right arm sweep all the way back. Nice and slow with the gaze. Start by gazing forward. Maybe you shift your gaze to the right wall. This is a nice standing, twisted balance. So we're doing lots of things in one. So breathing deeply. Maybe you bring your gaze all the way to the back wall. If you reached for the outer edge of the foot last time, take that variation again. Making sure you keep the integrity of the spine. Inhale, return to center. lunge, hands can come in prayer. Really reach those right toes back. Take a step. Beautiful, inhale. Exhale, take the twist. Turn and bring the right elbow to the left knee. We're staying twisted here. All we're doing is lifting our chest, lifting our head to the sky. Still facing the left and open up the hands. Left fingers to the back wall, right fingers up. Let this left hand become heavy. Find your back thigh. Reach the right fingers up and back for your reverse. Inhale, return to center. Bring them back up overhead. Exhale, plant the hands to frame that front foot. And we're going to bring our left arm on the inside of this left leg as we heel toe this left foot all the way to the left edge of the mat. Nice and wide for that left leg. Plant the right hand. Inhale, left fingers rise. Let that left knee be energetically falling out to the left, high through the back thigh. Exhale, slowly lower that back knee down. Reaching the right fingers or the left fingers all the way to the back wall. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, keep the heart open, keep the head lifted. Maybe you pick up the back foot and reach for the bind. This is an option. You can just stay right here. Breathing. Soft through that front shoulder and elbow. And release, bring both hands back to center. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee. Step the left foot back to your high plank. Take a full inhale. Exhale, down dog, or take your vinyasa. Inhale, lift the right leg all the way up to the sky. This time when we exhale, let's bend the knee and then stack the hip. Lift the right hip up so it's peeling up and stacking right over the left hip. Right kneecap faces the ceiling. Let that right heel fall all the way out past that left glute. Breathe. Inhale, extend the leg long out behind you. Exhale, giant step forward, plant it between the hands. Inhale, rise into your crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the heart space. Take a full inhale. Exhale, twist. Bring that left elbow outside the right knee. Breathe here. Inhale, lift the chest, stay twisted to the right, just lift the chest, the top of the head reaches the sky, lengthening the spine up, split open the arms. Drop the back hand heavy, reach the left fingers up and back for your reverse. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands, arms up overhead. Strong core, bring this left leg all the way up to a balance. Beautiful. Hands to the heart space. Reach your hands around this knee and peel your left arm back. Take a full inhale. Maybe you switch your gaze over to the left. Maybe you bring it to the back wall. Inhale, bring everything back to center. Hands to prayer. Keep this left knee lifted and peel the left knee out to the side. So we're nice and wide with our hip. We're wide with our hip. Step it all the way back to your warrior two. So this back foot becomes parallel with the back edge of the mat. We're still soft with this front knee, arms open, gaze forward. Flip both palms open. Release them back, palms down. Flip just the front palm open. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse. Inhaling, breathe here. Use your inhale to come back to warrior two. Exhale for side angle. Release that front forearm to your front thigh and the left fingers up to the sky. So even though this forearm is here, we're not dumping our weight here. We're staying lifted with our core. You can challenge yourself by just releasing and bringing your hand to your heart and releasing this elbow. Want a little bit more of a challenge? Reach these top fingers up and overhead. Inhale all the way back up to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame that front foot. Step it back to your high plank. Take a vinyasa or go straight to down dog. Inhale, the left leg rises. Exhale, bend the knee and stack the hip. Inhale, extend that left leg long behind you. Exhale, mindfully step it between the hands. Giant step forward. Inhale, rise into your crescent. Exhale, hands to prayer. Take an inhale. Exhale, turn and twist. Right elbow outside the left knee. Breathe here. Staying twisted, just lift the chest facing to the left. Open the arms up. Drop your back left hand heavy to your right thigh, wherever it falls. Lift the right arms up and back. Inhale, come to center. Face back forward, arms up overhead. Float the right knee all the way up forward. Bring all the weight into that left foot and sweep it up. Bring your hands onto your right knee and peel the right arm back. So just the left hand on the knee, taking the twist, bringing the chest to the right side. Shifting your gaze if available. Inhale, come back to center. Keep this right knee lifted. Bring your hands to prayer, nice and slow. Let that right knee go out wide. So we're opening up the right hip now. Step it all the way back, right foot back to warrior two. Open the arms up. So our back foot is parallel with the back edge of the mat. Soft, deep bend through this front knee. Flip both palms open. Plant them back down. Flip them open, just the front hand open. And inhale to reach up and back, reverse. Keep that deep bend in that front knee. Inhale, return to warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Release the front forearm down to the thigh. Right fingers up into the sky. Challenging your core once again. Maybe you bring that bottom hand to the heart. Maybe you reach the fingers up and overhead. Let your breath carry you here. Inhale, reach up, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands all the way down, framing that front foot and step it back to your high plank, vinyasa or down dog. Take a full inhale here. Complete exhale. Inhale, glide forward, high plank. Exhale, very slowly lower the knees down to your table. Nice and slow. Beautiful. You can untuck your toes. Keep your knees up over your hips or under your hips so this stays in a nice vertical line here, and just melt the heart forward as you reach the fingers forward. Puppy pose, heart melter. Let the forehead or the chin come to the earth. Breathe into the shoulders. Inhale, walk your hands back under the shoulders, lift the chest up. Beautiful. We're gonna kickstand this right foot out, so the right shin goes out to the side. Planting through that right hand, reach the left leg up and back, so the pinky toe is up to the sky, open the left arm. So we're in a nice hip opening tabletop. Breathing. You can stay here, or you can begin to kick your left heel back towards your glute and see if you can reach back with your hand to the inner edge of your foot. So just be careful. We don't want to lift up at all here. We just want to press it back. Release the bind if you have it. Extend the leg, arm up. We're going to step this left foot all the way forward to our low lunge. So bring it all the way forward and plant the foot into our low lunge. As you exhale, sweep the hips back to straighten this front leg and peel the toes up, flexing the foot. You can bring something under your hands here if it's hard to reach. Take an inhale to lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders back. Exhale to hinge at the hips and gently fold forward. Breathing here. Inhale, bend back forward into that front knee, into your low lunge. We're going to take it into our pigeon. So now you can walk this left foot all the way over to the right edge of the mat and recline the shin. So your shin goes all the way down. You may want to tuck your heel in a little bit more to your groin if you have a tight hip. Stretch your back leg nice and long and untuck your back toes, finding softness in the legs. Give your hips a moment to settle into the shape. Staying lifted on this left thigh. Don't sit on the side here. You want to keep your hips nice and level. Take a full inhale. And as you exhale, let the exhale be an invitation to just gently fold forward. You can come to your forearms using any sort of prop to support the head. And just take a moment in stillness to find more softness and ease into the body. Bringing your full awareness back to that natural rhythm of breath. Focusing on sending the breath past the borders of the lungs and expanding through the belly and even expanding through the pelvis and hips. Exposing all of those layers that feel tight and inviting them to find more space, with the breath, letting it go and inviting it back in. And just following your breath in and out. Notice if you're holding on in the shoulders or the jaw or the back toes, and see if you can just let yourself be a little heavier. Really fully melting into the stretch. Staying here if you'd like, or for the next few breaths you can slowly lift the chest, tenting your left fingertips to the center, and reach the right arm back. So we have an open heart here, and you can reach for the back foot, finding the quadricep stretch. Maybe you can wiggle your big toe into your elbow, free up the hand. Wherever you are, very slowly, mindfully release the pose, finding both hands under the shoulders. We're going to tuck the back toes. Maybe you can gently inch them in a bit so you can lift this back knee, strong core to lift this right or left leg all the way up and back to your three-leg dog. Shake it out however you'd like, and if you'd like, you can do your wild thing here with that open hip, bent leg, and you just let the heel continue to fall all the way back until it finds the floor. Lift those hips, reach the free hand to the front. Inhaling, we'll all find our way back to our downward dog. Take your time to get there. Inhale, glide forward, high plank. Very slowly release the knees down to the earth. So this time we're going to you have a few options for your own practice. You can do the same thing we did before with the puppy pose, heart opener. Or if you have a headstand that you're working on, this is a good time to take it in this practice. So if you have a headstand, then you know what to do. You can just take this time, and I will continue to guide through the heart melting pose, keeping the hips stacked over the knees, walking your hands forward, and melting the heart. You can find connection with the forehead to the earth, and just breathe into the shoulders. If you're in your headstand, find your way to a child's pose. And if you're in your melting heart, walk your hands back under your shoulders. We're going to take a child's pose too. We'll meet all in a child's pose, letting the fingers come towards the toes and just allowing the shoulders to get a counter stretch. rounding inwards towards the knees. Reaching the fingers back forward onto the mat. Use your inhale to lift the chest up, coming into your tabletop position. And this time, we're going to firmly plant through the left hand and kickstand our left shin out. Begin to extend the right leg long. You just kind of open up, let the right arm come to the sky, and lift that right leg up to a float. Breathing, again, not collapsing into the shoulder that's beneath you, pressing through it. Breathing here. Maybe you begin to bend the heel back towards the glute and reaching the hand on the inside. So we keep the palm open to the ceiling, reaching to the inside edge of that foot. And again, try not to lift up, press it back. Keeping it nice and flat. Slow and controlled, release the bind. Step this right foot all the way forward to the front of the mat for a low lunge. Take a full inhale, soften through the hips. As you exhale, shift the hips back, straighten this front knee, pick up the toes. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Roll the shoulders back here so our heart's really open. As we exhale, we just hinge forward with a flat back, letting the heart lead us. No need to round and scrunch the shoulders and neck. Let that all be free and spacious and soft. The more you flex these toes, the more you get through the back of the knee and the calf rather than isolating it in the hamstring. So try and really lengthen the entire back of this leg. Inhale, bend back into that knee, planting through the foot. And we'll begin to walk this right foot to the left, finding our pigeon pose, recline the shin. Lengthen through the back leg, nice and long. Take a moment, let the hips settle. And with your own breath, as your body begins to settle and release, you can surrender deeper, folding forward. And just tuning back into those sensations of the body. Just being curious about what are you feeling and where are you feeling it. And just really looking at it objectively. There's no need to get upset about the way we feel or judgmental, thinking that something is good or bad. Instead, let's just look at it whether it's interesting or not. Something's interesting, let's dig deeper. Let's use the breath to find a little more about what that means. Being open and willing to really feel, even when it's not the most pleasant. Peeling back the layers and sheets that are so wound up into our body, and revealing, discovering the truth that lies beneath it. Finding the root of that sensation. by just using the breath and being open and willing. And when we're really willing to feel and breathe and not run away or numb out or fix the way we're feeling or try and make it pretty or perfect, when we're really open and willing to be here exactly as we are with the breath, we give ourselves this beautiful, profound space to release, to heal, to connect back to our innermost truth. You can stay here for the next few breaths or gently lift the chest. This time we'll tense the right fingers and reach the left arm back. If you want to take the quadricep stretch, this is a choice as always. If you take the stretch, see if you have any buoyancy or any room in your elbow to bend, bringing that heel closer. Maybe you can just kind of wiggle the toes into the elbow, free up the hand. Soft for the heart. We're not crunching like this. We really open the heart, draw the shoulder blades together so that the collarbone can be broad. Very slowly release. Wherever you are, plant those hands under the shoulders and tuck the back toes. We're going to inch those back toes forward so we can lift that back knee, be really strong, hug the right knee up and back into our three-leg dog. You can just shake out the leg however feels good, or you can flip it for Wild Thing. Nice and slow. Lift those hips, reach the fingers forward. Slow and controlled, we'll all find our way back to downward facing dog. Take your time getting there. And let's take another stroll up the mat, nice and slow with the toes. Walk them forward. Taking a standing forward fold. Let's take gorilla pose here. So what you're going to do is you can bend your knees. If you can't reach, bend them as much as you may need. Bring your hands under your feet. So the back of the hands are on the mat. Palms to soles. And just wiggle your toes so that you get a nice wrist massage. Let the head be heavy. Disengage all the neck muscles. Really elongating and feeling into the full weight of the skull. And then once you're here, you can maybe slowly let your legs straighten. Breathe. And release, let your hands come back out. We're going to slowly find our way down to a seat. Plant those feet flat in front of you. Bring the hands behind your thighs. Lift up tall through the spine. Extending the arms out. Take a full inhale. Exhale, lower the back just a third of the way. Keep it nice and long through the spine. Pause. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower another third. Pause, inhale. Exhale, lower to a hover. Pause, inhale. Exhale, release all the way to your back, and we're going to go right into a Shavasana for a moment, extending all four limbs long. Tucking the shoulder blades under. And you can stay in Shavasana if you are done, or I'm going to invite you to join me in just a couple more poses, hugging the knees into the chest, reaching around for opposite elbows. Give yourself a tight embrace, gently rock side to side. Taking a happy baby, bring the elbows on the insides of the knees, and your hands can come to your ankles, your big toes, or the outer edge, the pinky edge of your feet. Go ahead and bend your knees deeply, letting your knees come out to the sides, nice and wide, and your feet flat to the ceiling like you're creating footprints on the sky. Maybe you gently rock side to side. Release the movement, find stillness here. Pick up the head, let the back of the neck be really long. And then notice your tailbone. If your tailbone's really rounded and lifted, see if you can plant it back down to the mat. So we have a nice flat back all the way along the spine. Take a full inhale. Exhale it out. Bring the bottoms of the feet to touch and release your feet down to the mat. Supta Baddha Konasana. Your knees go out wide. Tuck those shoulder blades under. Bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. If you feel like you need support under your knees, you can bring a block or a blanket or something to support you there. And just let your hands be on the belly and on the chest, really feeling into your body, holding yourself here as you take a few more deep, mindful breaths. Letting the jaw be loose, letting the skull fall heavy. Maybe you just gently rock your head really slowly, side to side, massaging through the back of the skull. And we will release into our Shavasana. Extend the legs long, extend the arms long. Take any sort of mindful adjustments or movements that you need so that you can find this final resting place. The shoulder blades are tucked under, cradling through the back of the heart. Let the legs really spread out. Let there be a space under the armpits. Close the eyes and just give yourself a few more moments to be here in the body fully. Letting go of the breath and just let it ease through, in and out. the body. Breathing in deeply, sweeping this breath all down the 4 limbs, and awaken fingers and toes. Taking your time to curl up onto whichever side feels good, letting your eyes stay closed, hugging the knees into the chest for a fetal position. Go ahead and release, pressing thumbs to forehead. Take a full inhale to grow the spine tall. Open mouth, exhale. May you see the truth. May you know the truth. May you be the truth. Thank you for taking this time to unravel with me. Namaste.